And welcome back, everybody, to another exciting edition of the TV show. My name is Jay Black, joined as always by the flyer adorned Rhea Hughes
Fired
and
up.
the now deeper voiced Angelo Cataldi with his new mic. How you doing, guys?
I'm
Great.
great. I just got to tell you, I saw two of the best documentaries I've ever seen in my whole life this week.
Your
Can't
whole life.
wait to tell people about it. It's so great.
Well, everyone's going to need to stick around to the end because you know what, Angelo? This show is going to have a great ending. And I think that's what you need. Anytime
Okay.
you're producing entertainment, you need to have a great ending. That's what
Great
I
ending.
personally believe. So that brings us to our first segment where I want to talk about a movie that premiered this week, and it's kind of the talk of the internet because Rhea, listen to this cast. It's
Okay.
Jason Clarke. It's Idris Elba. It's what's her name? Why can't I remember her name now? Angela, help me out. The girl from Mission Impossible and Doctor Sleep. Rebecca Ferguson.
I don't
Beautiful.
watch either of those shows. I didn't know who it was. She was quite good in it,
Yeah.
though.
And directed by Academy Award winning director Catherine Bigelow. All the pieces were in place for a wonderful nuclear thriller. A nuclear missile has been launched. We don't know who did it. It's headed for Chicago. And what we see basically is three stories told in real time as the people deal with this incoming missile and what it might mean for the state of the world and the state of America. And it's wonderful. And I'm going to spoil it right now. If you haven't seen it, turn off the show, go watch it, and then come back. Angelo, it ends with Idris Elba, the president, is about to make a decision. And his decision we've been building up to the entire movie. And he's about to do it. Cut to black. Directed by Catherine Bigelow. No ending at all to this movie. And I found this to be not only annoying, but criminal. How dare you show me this movie building to a single moment and then not show me the moment? It's like watching pornography without seeing it end. I'm just saying, I
That's
signed up to
disgusting.
see a money
That's
shot,
disgusting.
and I didn't see it. Angelo, tell me your feelings about this. Of course,
Right.
you agree with me that it was disturbing and terrible.
All right. I'm probably not going to agree with you the whole time here, but I totally agree with you that group of people and Catherine Bigelow as their
Catherine
director.
Bigelow.
I mean, she did The Hurt Locker. She won
Yep.
the Oscar for that. She is brilliant at this kind of film,
Yeah.
this kind of thriller buildup. And they show it from three different angles as a missile starts heading toward the U.S., and they can't figure out where it came from or what it's about. That's the basic premise. You got to understand, I love nuclear thrillers. This
Me too.
is what a parallax view, a fail safe. My favorite of all time is On the Beach, After the Bomb. Ah, these are great films. And the first sequence brought me in. I was so, what are they going to do? You know, should they contact their families? This could be the end for them. The end of Chicago as we know it. It's aimed right for Chicago. Then the second part comes in, and they take you through the same sequence from different angles. Then the third part, Rhea, this is Idris Elba. And
Okay. I love him.
without the accent, he's the United States president.
Yeah.
And he's so good because you can see the stress. It's so great. And Gail's watching with me, and we're both on the edges of our seats. And then directed by Catherine Bigelow. We looked at each other and we went, I Googled Chicago to see if it was still there. That's because the last I heard, there was a missile heading for it. They owe us an ending.
Yeah.
The real question is, when they take you on that kind of great ride, it's great. They got to give you a resolution. Rhea, don't they have to resolve the story?
Well, Jay, I can't believe that you're upset with this because for years you've told us you were completely fine with the ending of Sopranos.
So, Rhea, let me tell you the difference. I've thought about
Okay.
this extensively. The
Yeah, yeah.
difference is that the Sopranos ending is a puzzle that you figure out. There is an ending there if you look at all the
No,
clues.
there's no puzzle.
The
There's
puzzle,
no puzzle.
Tony is shot, and we're seeing it from his perspective, and
There
it's
was no
scary.
gun. I have no idea what happened to him. So I don't know why that one's okay because it's art. You would
Yeah,
love art.
I
And
do.
this one isn't okay because it's a nuclear movie and thrillers should always end with the hero winning. That's what you're upset about.
I'm
Yeah.
not upset that the heroes didn't win. I'm upset that I don't know if they won or not. If the Chicago, now listen, if it was Dallas, nobody would have a problem. But if Chicago is getting obliterated, tell me that it happened or it didn't, or how the United States, even if they put up a text box at the end to tell us what Idris Elba did, I just need to know the ending, and I don't have an ending. It's very
Ladies
frustrating.
and gentlemen, you cannot see below his head, but Jay Black was just, his pants were just removed. He was pantsed by Rhea Hughes. And Rhea, here's the thing that's so amazing about it. I thought it was subtle enough. So I was going to hit him with
Yeah,
that obvious disconnect. And so it couldn't have been that subtle. You picked it right up.
yeah,
No, the real question is, do we deserve an ending? If we are
yes.
going to, that was almost 2 hours. If I am going to put my 2 hours in and invest all of my emotion in what I'm seeing because it is brilliantly portrayed, I need a, I want a sequel where they tell me what happens now.
And here, so
They
here's
literally, like,
yeah,
give me
but
an
either
ending.
doing that or she's just really impressed with herself that she's going to get a lot of buzz for this. And
Yes.
that it's blatantly disrespectful to the audience. Audiences watch movies for the beginning, the middle, and the end. You might not always like the way a movie ends, but there has to be an ending. I mean, it's just somebody, I got a lot of words that I want to use for what she did, but they're all really not family friendly. But she knows what she did, and she's probably sitting at home, patting herself on the back, very impressed with herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's,
does. It feels like fart sniffing pretense, which, granted, I am usually the defender of fart sniffing pretense on this program. In this particular instance, I don't feel like they made a choice. I feel like they didn't have an idea. And
all right.
there's a difference there.
Oh, well, yeah, I want to do one other thing because you have this advantage of being a screenwriter and writing scripts.
Yeah,
If you had turned into a Lifetime or a
yeah,
Hallmark, if you turned in a script and it was this romance and the the bride to be is at the altar and she can't decide if she's going to go through with it,
yeah.
and it's 2 hours of buildup, and then it suddenly went written by Jay Black, no
Yeah.
answer. Would they accept that?
Angelo, they would put me in a cannon and fire me out of the office if I tried to do
Yeah.
that. One time, one of the first movies I ever did was for a TV show called Ion, the Ion Network, which is mostly known for rerunning Blue Bloods. And in fact, all of the reviews of the show, my show was, "Where's Blue Bloods?" That's all it said underneath. Um, but I had a difficult scene that I didn't want to write because I didn't quite know how to write it. So I just faded and let the audience fill in the gaps. And you know what they said? No, you can't let the audience fill in. Go back and write the scene, dum dum. So I had to go back and rewrite the scene, and it turned out to be a really good scene. But I think that's, as a screenwriter, when I look at this, I don't see a deliberate choice. I see someone that didn't want to commit to an ending, and that's
Right.
where I find it
And here's where
insulting.
you guys too there where you get away with stuff when you're successful. You guys have several times mentioned Catherine Bigelow. And now you guys know I don't pay a lot of attention to directors and producers and showrunners. That's more your thing. She got away with that because she's Catherine Bigelow
Yeah.
and she's
Right.
won an Oscar.
Yes,
If Jay Black doesn't get away with that,
No.
Catherine Bigelow gets away with it.
Yeah.
exactly right. It's
So
disrespectful. I demand an ending. I want to know. Here's the irony of it, Rhea. If the world had ended
Yes,
at the end of that movie, it would have been a far better ending
Mhm.
than not letting anyone know. It's
exactly.
disrespectful. Catherine, shame on you. I'm going to call the Academy and have I'm in the Screen Actors Guild. So are you, Rhea? We're
Yes.
going to take back the Oscar if
Oh,
we
yeah.
could do that.
You didn't
That
know
was
that could
awful.
happen, did you, Catherine Bigelow? All right, let's
Screw
talk
her.
about another figure that has, some might say, too much power. There's a guy, if you watch any one of like 75 shows on Paramount Plus, from Landman to the King of what's it was it the King of Carlston, whatever the name of the
Tulsa
Kingston,
King.
Mayor of
Once again,
Kingston, Tulsa King, 1899, 1922, Yellowstone, all created by a former actor named Taylor Sheridan. And he is basically all of Paramount. And it came out this week that he had been poached from Paramount by NBC in a $1 billion deal. Now,
Oh,
Paramount does not have a lack of money. They were just purchased by Skydance, owned by the Ellison family, who, Larry Ellison's worth $400 billion. They spent $1.5 billion on South Park. They spent another billion on the Duffer brothers from Netflix. They apparently went out to meet Taylor Sheridan. The meeting didn't go well. And get this, from what I'm hearing, they didn't even make this guy an offer.
good.
So, okay, so all right, I want to explore that. Why do you say good, Angelo? This guy's
Because the
successful.
guy's a one-trick pony, and the trick is tired. It's all the same show. It's this macho garbage. You can't be in a Taylor Sheridan show without having a full beard and a deep voice and acting macho. It's garbage. It's the same show over and over again. And frankly, Larry Ellison has $400 billion because he's smart enough not to waste $1 billion on a guy who only had one trick and has played it too many times already. Great move, Paramount. Too bad, NBC. That's more stupid money you just spent.
Rhea, people love these shows, though, don't they?
they do. That's why like, Angelo's acting like these shows aren't insanely popular. But like, let's get down to the reasons why he's gone. And by the way, I read a little note today, I think in the Hollywood Reporter, Jay, that David Zaslav tried to court him with a pair of cowboy boots from a movie that James Dean was in, like an
Oh,
original pair, and probably also a lot of money. The,
right.
the, the fact of the matter is, it's $1 billion. He was going to go. But what I heard was he was submitting scripts, and he's Taylor Sheridan. Nobody messes with him. The new people sent the scripts back with extensive notes written all over them, and he was pissed.
Oh,
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
Angelo kind of reminded me of you. It's like you're very successful, and whenever at WIP through the litany of bosses, they got better as you got older. The earlier ones tried to manage you.
Yeah.
You can't manage really good talent. You have to let your really good talent do what they do. And he does it really well. But the fact of the matter is, Angelo, you're right. He's got a what's it called? It's he's taken something, especially because a lot of shows are done in New York or LA, and now a lot of stuff's being done in Philadelphia. He's taken kind of the middle of the country, which has been forgotten for a long time, and has turned it into a cottage industry. So they can continue on with this. But the real reason he left is money.
Yeah.
And it always comes down to money. And maybe you stay if they're not annoying the crap out of you, but they were.
Rhea,
I
will this be a good investment for NBC?
Yeah,
Did
that's my
they
I
invest
question.
well
don't
with
think
$1
so.
billion? dollars?
Because if you look at the history, and Jay, you probably know this better than me, the history of people like him leaving to go to other places
Yeah.
that never was it Ryan Murphy? Is that his
Ryan
name?
Murphy, Sandra, Sandra,
Rhymes.
Rhonda
Sandra
Chimes.
Yeah.
Rhymes.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
never works out.
no.
The
Nope.
history is it does not work out.
Yeah.
And frankly, if somebody gives me $1 billion and I probably already made half of $1 billion, is the is the feeling still there to do it? So I don't think so, just because the history shows that it doesn't.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you that the money is not going to be well spent, and I just can't believe that the Paramount didn't make a counter offer. I tend to think Taylor Sheridan might be a pain in the butt, and they were happy to see him go. That's my personal
Yes.
pet theory. All right, let's talk about a show that we championed early on. I think Angela, you're out on it now, but my family's still in on it. We watch it together. It's a show called High Potential, which is so much fun. It's about a woman, and God, I can't remember her name now. I feel like I had a headache.
Caitlin
Caitlin
Olsen.
Olsen.
Caitlin
Caitlin
Olsen,
Olsen.
Caitlin Olsen.
who you know from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She is Rob McElhenney's wife,
Like,
and she plays a super genius who's also kind of like messed up in her personal life, who helps solve crimes for the LAPD. And it's great. I really enjoy it. We watch it all together as a family. It's a lot of
I
fun.
love it. It's a terrific show.
Yeah, it really is. And guess what? It is the highest rated primetime drama since ER. Now, we're grading on a curve here because,
Yeah.
it's not the same situation as it was 25 years ago. But, I go to my aunt's retirement home and I always like try to find her a show. And if you go to like NBC, Peacock, you go to, Fox or whatever, the top 5 shows are always procedurals. It's always NCIS or Law and Order or one of the Chicago PD shows. And I just wonder, we tend to watch peak TV shows that are 10 episodes or 8 episodes that tell a single story. But it seems like real people at their house, when they sit down to watch a show, they want to watch a show, a format that's been there for 70 years. You don't need to know anything about the show. You can just sit and watch it. Rhea, is that the show that people want to see? Am I wrong in thinking that all this arty stuff is what people want?
Well, the arty stuff is okay. Here's what when you brought this up, and I'm a High Potential fan. I like it. I think it's a fun show. It's a smart show. It's not where she's like the genius who everybody else is dumb. I
Right.
think it's really well cast. I like it. And I think it's kind of a different. I'm a procedural fan. I watch British procedural shows. They're just done a little bit differently. Clark says to me the other day, he watches a lot of these shows with his father. He goes, I can't wait for the new season of FBI. He's 16.
Right.
He and his father watch, the NCI. They watch all of that stuff together. They love those shows. I think what it is it's just it's comfort. You watch, like, I'll watch all these different, the documentaries, all this kind of stuff. But when I'm making dinner and I got the TV on, I like a fun show like High Potential, where I'm not going to cut my finger off because something bizarre went on. And it's just there's always going to be a place for that kind of show, especially when it's well acted.
Angela, do you agree?
The reason that High Potential is number one is because of Caitlin Olsen.
Yeah.
She is phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, she can do drama. She can play serious. She can play funny. She's
Funny.
the funniest thing on It's Always
Yeah.
Sunny in Philadelphia and has always been. And she can play hot.
Yeah. Let's not be
Triple threat.
let's not be
That's
confused,
it.
Angela. The length of the skirt goes a long way towards that show.
Of course
here.
it does. And she's got superb gams.
Yes.
But here's the
She's
bottom
gorgeous.
line, all right?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
There are
I
3
love her.
shows.
I won her legs.
Yeah.
There are 3 shows that are all essentially the same show. All right, Elsbeth, Matlock,
Yeah.
and this show. They're all very similar. The all-knowing, offbeat detective with weird stuff going on in their private life. It's all the same basic show. The reason this is the best of the 3 is because Caitlin Olsen, even though Kathy Bates and Carrie Preston are also very good. That's why all 3 shows are very watchable. But Caitlin Olsen is next level. And here's the thing about serial, carrying the story beyond one episode versus one. There's a show on network TV right now that is splitting the difference and doing it phenomenally well. It's the only network show I watch. Doc. Every episode She solved some medical thing. There's lots of drama. And then she had this accident, and she can't remember the last 8 years of her life after she had lost her son. And she's like, really, she was miserable for a long time. Molly Parker is another phenomenal actress. And that show, Doc, to me, does what these other shows do and goes beyond it. It gives you a recurring theme or a recurring, basically, storyline and resolves an issue within the show. I think Doc's got it down. Other people should be watching that and seeing how it's really done. That should be number one.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but I do think splitting the difference isn't a bad idea in some of these. And there is an overarching story to High Potential. It's light, but it's not big. All right, let's move on to one last subject before we go to our regular segments. If you watched the third game of the World Series, it is currently still on, I believe. That was an 18-inning monster of a game that had Shohei Ohtani making history with 9 times he reached base. That has not been done since 1942. 9 times in the same game. And Angelo, nobody saw it. Why did nobody see it?
The final pitch of this world, Rhea Hughes might have seen it. The final pitch was 2:50 a.m. Now, the last time I talked to Rhea, she got up 2:30. Rhea, were you up when it ended?
So I get up at 2:15 now, pretty much.
Oh.
But here's what happens is, so Cheney is very helpful, right? He's asleep right now. He generally wakes me up around 1 a.m., 1:30 to go to the bathroom. I mean, it is clockwork. And so I get up. I had the game on. I'd been watching Monday Night Football, and I've been watching the Sixers, who are a lot of fun to watch since they're not playing Joel Embiid as much. So I get up and I go, now, I wear contacts. So when I get up to let Shady out, I don't have my glasses on. So here's me. He's out in the back, and I'm like, is that right? And I'm like right up on it. And I go, I think it was might have been the 12th inning and I'm like, okay, all right, this is good. I'll watch it for the show. Went right back to sleep. I mean, but I did see the end of it just because I was awake. I do wake up, but it's sad because but here's the thing is, and we would always complain, please start these games at 7. If they started that game at 7, it still would have ended around 1 a.m. It's just one of those things with an extra innings game. I don't think it sucks that no one saw it, but even if you had started it at an earlier time, people still would have gone to sleep.
Hey, here's an earth-shattering thought, Rhea. How about once in a while having a World Series game in the daytime?
Oh, boy.
The way they built up. How about giving that to the people? How about letting the little kids at 3 o'clock in the afternoon sit down and watch a game? The reason the Super Bowl's number one is because it's accessible to everyone. It's on at 6:30. It's over by 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I've been in the West Coast. They don't care that much, even when the Dodgers are in it.
But
guys,
it went 18 innings. There's only
I don't care. Rhea,
it wouldn't have mattered if they started at 5. It still would have ended after 11.
Hold on a minute. Are you justifying the fact that the most important and most exciting baseball game of this season ended at 2:50 a.m. in the East, and you think that's fine?
I'm saying because of the nature that it went 18 innings, if they started it it's a weekday. You're right. For a Saturday game, they should start that game at 3 o'clock. 100%. You cannot start a game that involves a West Coast team at 3 o'clock in the afternoon where it's 12 o'clock. You just can't do that. That's ridiculous.
Now I'm unhappy with both of you today.
Can I tell you something? I just had a moment there where I realized I wasn't hosting. I was just watching the two of you interact, and I just loved it. I don't know why we should have 10 million viewers every episode. Uh, all right, let's talk about something we can all agree on. Our great sponsor, Steven Singer. Angela and Rhea, I think you have something to say about it, but
Yeah, I
tell me
want
about it.
Rhea to take this one because she's got something she's going to show us. Apparently, Rhea's had a recent
Visit.
currency exchange at Steven Singer's, and I want to hear about this. What do you got, Rhea?
So this was very exciting. So Clark had homecoming last Saturday night, and back in our day, a girl got a corsage.
Hmm.
And what did Steven Singer always say, Angelo, about flowers?
Right,
They
flowers
die.
only last a week. Uh,
Only last week. And by the way, not nothing about I love flowers. I have flowers all over my house. But so I was talking to him and I said, "Hey, do you want to go to Steven Singer and get a bracelet instead of a corsage? Do something." And again, I always tell you that stuff there is inexpensive. Like you can get something on the lower end, and then if you want to go and get the big. So we went in, and I told them our limit was $200, and they brought out. Stephanie was great. She was working with Teresa. They brought out 5 beautiful bracelets, and let me see if you guys can see it.
Oh,
oh
Can you guys see
wow,
wow.
this?
Yeah.
that is no. Oh
So,
wow.
but let me show you the cool part about this. And it was $200. Of course, I said no higher than $200. Clark picked the most expensive one because he is like his mother. I can't fault him for that.
Yeah.
Um, but here's what's cool about it. It had a different kind of clasp, which I thought was neat. It's called a bolero clasp.
Mm.
So you can tighten it according to like whatever size your wrist is. Clark's girlfriend's wrist is the size of my pinky. So she was able to, but she was excited by it. It was beautiful. It was not expecting it, and absolutely gorgeous. And we went in. Here's the thing, Ange, we always forget to tell people. You go into 8th and Walnut, people think, oh my God, I'm going downtown. I got to park. It's going to cost me $40. You go to the parking lot right past Steven Singer on Walnut. They validate your parking. Parking is free. So it was great. We had a great
Yeah.
experience. Everybody's happy. I hate stevensinger.com.
So the bottom line is that if you need something and you have a son or a daughter who is killing it socially, just one after another, go to a place where you can get the right price and the right gift. And that's Steven Singer. The other quarter of 8 to Walnut. I hate stevensinger.com.
You can just click on it right in your podcast app. Don't even just click and go and buy. It's no big deal. All right, Rhea, what do you got for us this week on British Corner?
I have something different than what I normally do, which is,
Oh,
it doesn't involve murder, but it
yeah.
does involve the murder of a career, basically. So it's called Brian and Maggie. This is not on the level of Frost Nixon, but Brian and Maggie, it's on PBS, only 2 episodes. And it's the interview that Margaret Thatcher did, kind of ushered her out with Brian Waldron. They had become friends throughout their career. He'd been a politician who transferred into doing interviews, political interviews, and they were friends. And this show really talks about how back in the 70s and 80s, and even if you guys remember the movie The Post with
Yes.
Meryl Streep, she talks about in there how they were friends with JFK. They had drinks with them. She was there on the plane when they brought his body back. There used to be a very close connection with journalists and the politicians they covered. Brian Waldron and Maggie Thatcher were friends, but it got to the point to this last interview where she had just that they were ready to get rid of her, where he had to go after her. And the whole thing, it tells you the relationship. It was really I won't say like a love affair, like it was a friendship. It was like a political love affair. He really believed in her. And
Mm.
so he always went easy on her until it gotten to the point where he could not go easy on her. They never, from what I understand, they never spoke again after the interview, which I find very sad. It's they sprinkle it throughout the whole show. They build up showing it to you. And like the last 15-20 minutes, they actually show you the interview on how he basically destroys her
Wow.
and destroys her by her own means because she wouldn't answer the questions. and he had to ask them. Angelo knows this. He was an interviewer. There
Love
are
it.
questions you have to ask.
This sounds
Uh,
great.
so it's really good. It's called Brian and Maggie. It's on PBS. 2 episodes. It's not real long, but it's a fascinating look at what the relationship used to be like between journalists and politicians.
This reminds me, Rhea, of how we had a very nice friendship until earlier when you attacked me for liking the Sopranos ending, but
Mm.
not the ending of A House of Dynamite. It was very
Yes.
similar. Very
Very.
similar. Uh, all
I
right,
got to
and-
be honest with you, Jay. That was my favorite part of the podcast. But I got two. Listen, I
Yes.
got two documentaries. Wow, we talk all the time about how these things are made, how TV series are made, how great movies are made. Well, two documentaries dropped, both on Apple this week, that are phenomenal at showing you the inner workings of that process and the toll they take on the creators. The first one, I'm putting this first. I only saw it last night and I'm blown away. My wife and I both went. Now, that's a great documentary. It's called Stiller and Meara, Nothing is Lost. Apple TV,
cool.
directed by their son, Ben Stiller, who takes you into how his parents, who were this comedic, they were just phenomenal on Ed Sullivan, and they were very popular. And then the ups and downs of their lives and the effect it had on him and his sister Amy. It is so good. The guy who played George Costanza was the guy that Jerry Stiller played later in his life. More people actually know him for that than as part of the comedy team. And they take you into that and how he developed that character. And it's just so great. And Jerry Stiller was a pack rat. He kept everything. They've got so much tape. So many things that happened in their lives were recorded and they show you. It's fantastic. And the other thing is also on Apple called Mr. Scorsese.
Yeah.
And it is a 5-episode look into the incredible career of Martin Scorsese, who I always said was Scorsese, but he pronounced it that way, so I changed it. It's insanely great.
I thought you were mispronouncing his name.
Scorsese is the way he pronounces it. Everyone else pronounces it differently. But I could just tell you that the sequence on Goodfellas and how they created that, and how he took it from his own life, and how he got these guys to improvise. That's I think the 3rd episode. That's the best of the 5, but it's all absolutely sensational. If you're interested in how all this great stuff we talk about is actually made, those are the 2 shows. Stiller and Meara, Nothing is Lost, and Mr. Scorsese on Apple. Both. And they're both great.
Real quick, Ange, you mentioned documentary. I tried to watch The Monster of Florence.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like one of the it was awful. So I'm just going to tell people, like, don't bother. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Angelo, I leave for Rome on Friday, and I've got all of it like in my iPad ready to go for the flight. I cannot wait.
Right. And the good news is on all of those, Jay, Scorsese ended his films. He told you what happened. He's not artsy-fartsy like a lot of these people.
No,
which reminds me, House of Dynamite is available on Netflix if you like never to see how a show ends. If you want to see any of the Taylor Sherridan work, currently it's all on Paramount Plus, although it soon will be moving to NBC. High Potential is on Hulu. Always Sunny, if you want to see Caitlin Olsen in her earlier work, that's on Hulu. Brian and Maggie is on PBS, and both Stiller and Meara, Nothing is Lost, and Mr. Scorsese are on Apple TV.
That man right there is Angelo Cataldi. You can get his book Loud at angelocataldi.com, amazon.com, or if you want to hear him read it to you, you can go to audible.com. Rhea Hughes right there, the wonderful Rhea Hughes, you can catch every single day on the WIP Morning Show on YouTube. And you need to check out her Instagram, which is, can I get this right? Is it Rhea Hughes 94.1, Rhea?
No, Rhea Hughes 94 WIP.
Rhea Hughes 94 WIP on Instagram.
If you want to go on it, I made Cache a Pepe last night and I posted it and people apparently loved watching it. Go figure.
And I'm going to be performing at the Elizabeth Ballroom in Gloucester. This is a very rare local appearance for me. So go to my website for tickets there and